Hey everybody, Dr. Nelson here. This is a video about math functions. Okay, so this is really going to introduce you to basically how functions are used in kind of the math world. All right, so take a look at this first page of your notes, and actually the first couple pages you're going to work with me, and then there'll be some problems for you to try on your own, and then at the end you can see how you did. All right, so here we have a big hexagon, and what I want you to do is I want you to pretend this is like a magic machine. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to feed numbers into the machine, and they're going to pop out a different number. All right. So let's say, for example, the number, say, 2 goes into the machine. So imagine the 2 goes along here into the machine, right? And the 2 changes into a 6. All right. So the input value was a 2, and the output value is a 6. Okay. So what could the rule be? Like, what's happening to our x value to make it the y value? Can you tell? Maybe you're saying times 3, right? Or it could also be maybe plus 4, right? We just don't know, all right? So let's put another number in. So I'm going to put a 5 in, all right? So the 5 goes into the machine, okay? And out comes a 15. Now that we have 2 inputs and outputs, can you figure out the rule? Hopefully. Okay, the rule is times 3, right? So the x value is being multiplied by 3 to get the y value. All right. Now, a little bit of vocabulary we need to go over. So all these values that go into the machine, the inputs, these are called the domain values. All right. And those are the x values. And all the numbers that pop out of the machine, okay, those are called the range, which is also the y values. Okay. Now, the rule, again, is 3 times. So the way we write it is, the way we get the y value is we take the x value and we times it by 3. And there it is. Okay. Let's say if I plugged in a 10. Okay. What would the y value have to be? Can you write that in right here? Yep, it would have to be a 30. Okay. All right, turn the page, please. And let's look at this one. Okay. So again, now we have our domain values and we have our range values. So let's say, for example, if our first domain is going to be a -2. Okay. But actually, this time I'm going to write it down here in our little table. So when x is -2, so again, the -2 goes in the machine, it changes. Okay. And now it ends up being a 1. So our y value is 1. How about if the x value is a 5 and it goes into the machine and it becomes an 8? Do you see the rule? What's going on here? How about if a 10 goes in and it now becomes a 13? And how about if the number 100 goes in, all right, and it turns into 103? Do you see the rule? Yep. So the rule is the numbers increase by 3, right? So the actual name of the rule is, to get our y values, we're taking the x values and we're increasing by 3. And there it is. All right. Now, this is a key part right here. I'm going to use a different color. Let's say if a 5 goes back into the machine. All right. What number has to pop out? And that has to be an 8. Okay. So again, you've learned a function is like a rule. Okay. It has to be a consistent, dependable rule for every single value that goes in. So when the number 5 goes in, it always will pop out an 8. Okay. So no matter what this x value right here is, you're going to add 3 to it to get the y value. All right. All right. Turn the page, please. And let's try one more. Okay. Let's say if the x value is a 10 and the y value is a -20, and the x value is 4 and the y value is a -8. And let's say the x value is a 0, and the y value is a 0, and the x value is a 7, and the y value is a -14. All right. So based on these input-output values, can you figure out the rule? What's going on? To go from here to here, and from here to here, what's happening to the x values or the domain values to have it become the range? Okay. And the rule should be, to get the y value, we take the x value and we multiply it by -2. There it is. All right. So let's say we have an x value of, say, 25. All right. Based on our function rule, what would y have to be? And it would have to be -50. All right. So now that you know a little more about functions, why don't you pause the video and try the your turn problems now, and then when you're done, hit play and you can see how you did. All right. Good luck. All right, welcome back. Let's see how you did with this practice problem. Okay, so again, here's our domain values. Okay, these are the x values, and this is what happens to the x values when they go into the machine. All right, so the 2 turns into a 20, the 3 turns into a 30, the 4 turns into 40, and so on. Okay, this one's pretty easy. So the rule for this one is going to be just to get our y value, we take the x value and we multiply it by 10. There it is. Okay. So let's list a few more pairs here. All right. So say if x was, say, 10, okay, what would the y value be? It would be 100. Okay. Say if we have a negative value. Let's say if x was, say, -2. Okay. If x was -2, y would be -20. Okay. And how about if x was -4? That means y would have to be -40. And there it is. All right, how'd you do?